with this president and his constant diversions into, look, we want to get his attention, have 70 polls in a row showing you beating him. And that all of a sudden gets his attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why I'm the object of his attention. 18 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is kind of bizarre. And, it's Rudy Giuliani is a great character witness the president has.
Trump's tweets are like firecrackers, loud, flashy, and over in seconds. But Biden, he's the slow-burning fuse that just blew up Trump's whole strategy. Want to see how Sleepy Joe became Stealth Joe? Stick around as we unpack the interview that left Trump fuming and Twitter buzzing.
Ahead of time, withhold significant military aid that's badly needed in order to prevent the Russian separatists who are in Ukraine from taking over Ukraine. But look, there is much more at stake than whether or not he's acting so bizarrely. This is the idea that someone would call a head of a foreign state.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Picture this. Trump's thumbs are on fire, tapping out tweets faster than a caffeinated squirrel.
And who we are, our values. And the idea that we're not paying any attention, he doesn't want us to pay attention to health care, which you and I both know a lot about, not do anything about dealing with the environment. This distracts me in a way that takes me away from the issues that really are the reason why I'm running. This is a fundamental reason. This overwhelming, we have to restore the soul of this country.
Meanwhile, Biden's chilling with his morning Joe, cool as a cucumber. It's like watching a hummingbird race a tortoise, but in politics. Trump's gone full caps lock crazy on Twitter, threatening government shutdowns like they're going out of style. He's ranting about everything from border walls to witch hunts, and his supporters are eating it up like it's the last slice of MAGA pie. But here's the kicker. While Trump's tweets are getting more likes than a cat video, they're also catching the eye of those pesky fact checkers.
And that's when I decided, how can I've spent my whole life doing this, how can I remain silent? Because respond, he said, well, there were very fine people in both groups. No president has ever said anything like that, with the possible exception of Andrew Jackson before the Civil War. Because I was raised by a dad who taught me silence is complicity. This is the way that he's tried to divide this country.
Now, you'd think with all this Trump noise, Biden would be shouting from the rooftops, but nope, he's quieter than a library mouse. Some folks are starting to wonder if Sleepy Joe's living up to his nickname. Is he napping through the political firestorm, or is there more to this silence than meets the eye? As fact-checkers start poking holes in Trump's tweet storm, something interesting happens. The initial buzz around his posts starts to fizzle out like a day-old soda. People are beginning to question if there's any substance behind the all-caps drama.
I just think with him gone, there's a chance to breathe new life into what everybody knows has to be done. I'm of the view, look, our politics is broken, not the system. The politics is broken. And it's gotten so mean and ugly and divisive that it fluctuates between climate and guns. Mm-hmm. And, the generation that is most anxious about their future today are people between 15 and 21.
Meanwhile, in a plot twist worthy of a political thriller, Biden's team is secretly prepping for a big interview. They're sharpening their wits, polishing their zingers, and getting ready to show America that silence isn't always a sign of weakness. As Trump's social media circus starts losing its audience, people start wondering what Biden's up to. The anticipation builds like the suspense in a horror movie, but with less screaming and more political intrigue. Finally, the moment arrives. Biden shows up on Kimmel, looking as calm and collected as a surfer before a big wave. He's not shouting, he's not tweeting, he's just talking, and people are shocked. It's like watching your grumpy uncle turn into a Zen master overnight. But hold on to your hats, folks. This calm, cool, and collected Biden, he's got an ace up his sleeve that's about to turn this whole political game on its head. Trump might think he's the master of surprises, but Biden's about to show him that sometimes the quietest voice in the room is the one you really need to watch out for. Just when everyone thought they had Biden figured out, he pulls a move so unexpected it's like watching a grandpa do a backflip at a family barbecue. Remember how Trump loves to brag about helping his supporters? Biden's about to show him what real leadership looks like, and it involves helping people who didn't even vote for him. Crazy, right? So there's Biden, sitting on Jimmy Kimmel's couch, cool as a cucumber. Kimmel asks him about Trump taking credit for his accomplishments, probably expecting Biden to get all huffy and puffy. But nope, our man Joe's not taking the bait. He's calm, collected, and about to drop a truth bomb that'll make Trump's hair stand on end, if that's even possible. Instead of going on a rant about Trump, Biden starts talking about how he's working for all Americans, not just the ones who voted for him. It's like he's trying to be the president of the whole country or something. Wild concept, huh? But here's where it gets really juicy. Biden casually mentions, "I've invested more in red states than in blue states." Wait, what? Did Grandpa Joe just say he's been sending more money to Trump's turf than his own backyard? Yep, you heard that right. He explains all these programs we just talked about. The reason for that was the red states didn't operate very well and they really hurt their constituents, so those factories closed. It's like he's playing political chess while Trump's still figuring out how to set up the checkers board. The audience's jaws hit the floor so hard you could practically hear them clunking. People are looking at each other like, is this guy for real? It's as if Biden just announced he's secretly been Batman this whole time. And guess what? The internet explodes. Biden's bipartisan bombshell starts spreading faster than a rumor in a small town. People are tweeting, sharing, and actually fact-checking. Gasp, Biden's claims. And wouldn't you know it, turns out Sleepy Joe's been wide awake and working all along. But here's the real kicker. Some of Trump's die-hard fans are starting to scratch their heads. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, Trump's #1 cheerleader, is sounding a bit unsure. She's out there saying stuff like, don't eliminate the factory, after talking about the proposal that going to build that is the worst idea anybody's ever had. It's like watching a kid realize Santa isn't real. The confusion is real, folks. So there you have it. Biden, the guy Trump calls Sleepy Joe, just woke up and schooled everyone on what it means to be a president for all Americans. Who knew helping people who didn't vote for you could be such a winning strategy? It's almost like that's what presidents are supposed to do or something. Weird, right? So there you have it, folks. While Trump was busy tweeting up a storm, Biden was quietly getting stuff done. It's like watching a loud party animal brag about his weekend plans, while the quiet kid actually aces the test. Turns out Biden's brand of leadership isn't so sleepy after all. It's just effective without all the drama. Here's a thought, maybe it's time we all took a page out of Biden's book. Instead of getting caught up in the social media circus, why don't we focus on what our leaders are actually doing? It's crazy, I know, but it just might work. Remember, in the world of politics, the loudest voice isn't always the strongest. Sometimes the guy who speaks softly is the one carrying the big stick and using it to build bridges instead of walls. Who knew?